Denver 7 Now is sponsored by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Ann Trujillo with the latest from Denver 7. Let's be honest, not many of us knows much about the people running for our children's school boards. Well, after this next story, we have a feeling Corey Nelson is a name you won't soon forget. In the wake of the shooting at STEM School Highlands Ranch, Nelson is running in Douglas County on a platform of protecting our kids. Well, as late as last year, that platform apparently included putting a bullseye on the backs of teachers who refuse to carry guns in the classroom. And tonight, he tells Denver 7's Gary Brode he's just misunderstood.
I was shocked. I don't think that's a common sense solution.
It just felt judgmental.
Douglas County School Board candidate Corey Nelson is now being forced to defend himself as a Facebook post from February of 2018 is recirculating on social media.
Is that when people don't take a look at something said in the context in which the entire conversation is being held, or understand the concept of use of hyperbole in discussion and debate, I understand they may misunderstand my intent or my priorities.
The post references gun-free zones, which Nelson says he opposes because he believes in the need for more school resource officers.
People need to be shocked. I mean, it should come as a shock.
He says the last couple of sentences in his comments were hyperbole. The last sentence saying, quote, "Let the D teachers wear the safety vests with the label, 'I don't care to defend myself or my students,' with a bullseye." The post dividing many in the community.
I found it incredibly just offensive and a reckless statement by someone who's running for public office.
I get what he's trying to say, yes. I get people who are on the other side of the debate as well.
His opponent, David Ray, tells Denver 7 in part, Mr. Nelson certainly has the right to express his opinions. However, to suggest that teachers would not defend their students is absolutely insulting.
I have a wife who's an elementary school teacher. There's no way she's going to carry a handgun in a school, nor do I want her to, nor do I think she ever should, nor any other teacher. That's not their job.
That was Gary Brode reporting. Now, tomorrow, one of the two people accused of carrying out the STEM school shooting will appear in court for what could be a 3-day hearing. And earlier today, we had the chance to sit down with John Castillo, whose son Kendrick was murdered while tackling one of the gunmen. And he told us he wants the suspects to be thought of not as just killers, but as terrorists.
As a society, we tend to like to soften things. When there's tragedy, it's easier if we isolate it to a church, to a school shooting, to the local, big box store, because then it just indicates that it happened in that place. When the fact of the matter is, how terrorism works is it spreads terror through everyone.
Well, cameras are not allowed inside tomorrow's hearing, but we will be there listening to the testimony, and we will bring you all the coverage on all of our Denver 7 platforms. A Grand Junction man could spend up to 5 years in prison for threatening to rape and murder young women. One of those threats was mailed here to Denver 7. Daniel Gallego sent letters to Seattle Police and a Sheriff's Department in Florida, as well as to our newsroom, describing in graphic detail what he intended to do to those women. In recent days, he was indicted by a grand jury and pleaded not guilty to making those threats. E-scooters will come to Fort Collins next month. The city and CSU have signed a contract with a single vendor to put 250 scooters around town and another 250 on campus. They will be off limits after 9 p.m. during the summer and after 7 p.m. during the winter. As hard as it is to admit, scams can often be easily avoided if you trust your gut and do your homework. But a Lakewood man might be the exception. As Contact 7's David Clue reports, this man did just about everything right and still got conned.
Daniel Evanov is retired, but he says he's now getting older much faster than he had planned.
Would you want to drive up and live in this? I don't. It's not what I expected to happen.
What happened was a hailstorm back in 2017. What happened next was a contractor who checked out at nearly every level.
I actually went to the Better Business Bureau and had 3 or 4 guys come out, all telling me the same thing, and this was the guy I chose.
That guy is Mark McGotrey, and his company is, or was, Grand Mountain Construction Company, based out of, well, perhaps a post office box in Inglewood. Still, Evanov's homeowner's insurance cut him a check and said pay the contractor the entire bill.
He told me to take that check. After several times I'm arguing with him, take the check, go to your bank, have them cut you a check and give to the contractor. And that'll cover the roofing, the siding.
Subcontractors quickly pulled the damaged siding, then, after not getting paid by Grand Mountain, took off, leaving this. Now 2 years of this. Grand Mountain had and still has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and has even been screened by HomeAdvisor. However, despite his HomeAdvisor posting, he has an average rating, not the 5 stars on the site. And HomeAdvisor tells me he was never considered an elite service member, though it appears that way on the site. Unable to reach Mark McGottry by phone, email, or text, Avanov's son stepped in.
My uncle and I have sent certified letters. All of them have not been accepted yet. I've even put a quote in to ask for business using an alias email. No response from the business from there either.
Insult to injury, Evanov has already suffered through one winter.
Just trying to survive in it. I mean, you feel the wind, you feel the cold. It's horrible.
If it hits wintertime with this, he's going to have to move in with us because once those pipes go, we have a whole different problem.
Despite having insurance, despite all of Evanov's due diligence, the now $12,000 to $14,000 repair will be coming out of his nearly empty pockets. I'm David Clue, Denver 7.
And that contractor reached out to us late today and said he stopped work on the home because the payout was not enough to cover the damage. That's despite the adjuster's quote and signed contract, which suggests the opposite. Either way, Daniel's home needs fixing. So if you're interested in helping, head to the Contact 7 Gives section of thedenverchannel.com. Select this story from the drop-down menu, and then you can donate there. And if you happen to be a good contractor who wants to lend a hand, email or call us at the information on your screen. This has been your Denver 7 On Demand update. Thanks for joining us, and check back here later tonight for another update. And download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. I'm Ann Trujillo.